What's up, everybody? It's Stuck in Carbonite, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite lines to collect, and that is G.I. Joe Classified. Ever since this line started, I knew I was going to love this line. It was a pretty rough start. I'd say it kind of got a little bit of backlash at the beginning. Well, I shouldn't say kind of. I know it got a lot of backlash at the beginning. Design choices were a little odd for some people. Um, but now we're getting into, that real American hero, classic designs being brought to life. And some of them slightly modernized. And it just works. This line is so awesome. It's so fun to collect. And I just want to talk about the current state of the line and, just share some of my thoughts. I really think this line is the best line to collect right now, especially if you're into, the 6-inch action figure game. Marvel Legends has been, I would argue and say, number one, and still is the number one seller. I feel like those are everywhere in stores. Uh, it just seems like those figures get the most attention out of everything. And I understand why. And there's some great figures. I have, quite a bit of Marvel Legends myself, but I've always liked G.I. Joe. And to see them get this kind of treatment, with all the insane detail, all the insane articulation, I mean, the accessories, everything that they're doing with this line right now, like, I'm not even mad. Uh, the issues that I have with the line has nothing to do with the designs and the looks of most of these figures. Granted, there are some figures that I passed on. I'm not a completionist by any means. Um, I don't have every figure. I don't care to have every figure. It's just that there are some figures that, I was kind of disappointed in, but I haven't been more satisfied with a line like this compared to anything else. Like, I love Star Wars: The Black Series. That's like my bread and butter. But G.I. Joe Classified is becoming like my favorite thing. I don't know why. I kind of know why. And that's basically because, I mean, everything you get with these figures. You get a good chunk of accessories with each figure. You get these awesome designs, great articulation for everybody. And now we're getting into, like I said, the real American hero designs or, comic accurate designs. And all of this stuff really intrigues me. I think the line is doing very well. You have two successful HasLabs, in the books. All tiers unlocked for the Dragonfly and the His Tank. So it lets you know the market is there. People love these figures. I hardly ever see them in store unless you're at Walmart and you see the same two retro carded figures or Snake Eyes Origins figures. But now I'm starting to see some of the newer waves. Like, I've seen Rock and Roll in store and Shipwreck, so that's a good sign. But the thing is like, that's been this line's main issue is availability. People have struggled to find these in stores. Certain figures have been, in and out of stock consistently. Uh, Dr. Mindbender and Serpentor, for example, why were they SDCC releases, but, limited quantities available on Pulse? Like, those are two major characters they could have easily put in the main line, just take away some of the accessories and the special items, and people would have they would have sold out. People would have ate it up. And it's like, the thing is there's some questionable choices, and I believe that's like the business side of things. But as far as like design wise and making these figures come to life, I think the G.I. Joe team at Hasbro is absolutely killing the game. They are doing such a great job, and I honestly couldn't be happier. And I know some people don't like it when they hop back and forth and release, different characters from different eras of G.I. Joe, but I love that. Like, we're getting some 90s characters coming out here soon. We're getting two figures that are announced for 60th anniversary of G.I. Joe. I think that's awesome. You're giving everybody a little bit of what they want. You know what I mean? And the thing is all of these characters look great. All of these releases have been phenomenal. I haven't seen one where I'm just like, yeah, that looks super horrible. Well, besides Falcon. But I haven't been like, and I didn't purchase Falcon, but like I haven't been disappointed with any of them that I bought. Is what I'm saying here. Uh, I really love this line, and I highly recommend it to any GI Joe fan. And if you want to get into GI Joe, just pick up a figure, like anyone you can get your hands on, and just like get into the TV shows, get into the comics. I mean that stuff is really good. And yes, it's like that 80s cheesy goodness, but that's the charm. And the comics really hits home. Larry Hama, if you read a few of the comics, I don't know, I have never read the entire run of A Real American Hero, and I don't think I ever will. But the ones that I have read and the stuff that I have seen, it's great. It's awesome storytelling. There's some cool moments, great characters. You have I mean, like a wide array of characters. I mean, it's crazy how many different characters are in GI Joe. And the thing is I think that Hasbro has made a very large dent into getting out, some of those popular characters. And yet there's still a lot to go. There's still more that the fans are anticipating, and I think that's awesome. Keep it going. You know what I mean? I want to keep G.I. Joe alive as much as possible. I feel like nobody really cares about G.I. Joe, and since Classified came out, it's like it took the world by storm, and I'm hoping that this line continues to stay on top, because these figures are outstanding. And here's just a few of my favorites in front of you, but I have a few more, and I plan on continuing to collect this line whenever I can. I know I've cut back on collecting big time, and I'm kind of done with Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse, with a few exceptions. But I feel like Star Wars: The Black Series and GI Joe are you know they're tied for first, and it's like Star Wars is my most favorite thing, but I'm really leaning towards sticking to more of just GI Joe because of how well these figures are crafted. I've been more excited and I've had more fun with these figures than I have with Black Series recently. Besides Darth Malgus and BK, I got those two figures recently, and I love those figures. But that's the most fun I've had with Black Series, in a long time. But now, I'm getting into the good stuff. I really think this line is something special, and I just hope it continues to stay successful and be here for years and years to come. So I hope you guys enjoyed me sharing my thoughts on this line. Let me know what you think. If you like G.I. Joe, if you've, kind of dug into Classified a little bit, and let me know what you think. And I'd love to, share some more of my thoughts and talk with you guys. But anyways, y'all have a good one. I hope that this video inspires you to go collect G.I. Joe, go watch G.I. Joe, whatever it may be.